Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 660 Club, coming live from our socially distanced and very well sanitized office here in Soho. You've got the whole team behind 660, the guys that make this thing happen. So big welcome and thanks for joining us today. This is the place where you meet 6 game-changing startups in 60 minutes. We've now welcomed over 1,000 members into the community. It's been an amazing journey over the last few months. And as we move forward, we want to make 660 even more relevant to you. So with that in mind, we've split 660 into industry groups. And this industry is obviously focused on retail leaders. That means that the third Thursday of every month is going to be a focus on the retail industry, where we look at 6 startups that are pioneering the future of the industry. If this is your first time, welcome to the club. To introduce myself, my name's Jeremy Bassett. I'm CEO of CoCubed. And at CoCubed, our approach to helping retail leaders is to lead digital transformation through connecting them with startups from around the world who are driving that transformation. Here's a 30-second overview of what we do. CoCubed, we're passionate about connecting retailers with startups. And with that in mind, we've been partnering with Retail Week Live to bring 50 of the hottest retail startups to meet the industry. Retail Week Live has been postponed until the 14th to the 15th of April next year. But for those of you who are retailers, we'd love you to be involved, and you can get involved as a judge at the event. This is your chance to unleash your inner dragon, to give feedback to innovative startups and to explore new technologies which could be relevant to your company. If you'd like to be involved as a judge, please shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you, and I can send you more details on what's involved. But it's very straightforward, a lot of fun, and great exposure as well. So let's get this show on the road. Here's how today's going to work. In just a minute, you'll be hearing from quick-fire pitches from 6 startups who are pioneering the future of the industry. That's going to be followed by an opportunity for you to meet with the companies, find out more about them, and network with them and the presenters in the networking zone. And of course, if you want to find out more about the companies, then you can also head to the expo booths after the event and connect with the companies directly there as well. Throughout the event, please use the chat bar on your right to say hello, make comments, ask questions. And the CoCubed team are going to be there as well to help out if you need anything from us as well. But before we do any of that, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today, Romy Arya. He's a leader in the retail and digital technology sector. He's spent most of his career working for large corporates such as Vodafone, Unilever, and now at Walgreens Boots Alliance. Romy, thanks for joining us.
No worries. Good to be here, and good to I see it now again. It was great working with you at Unilever. It's good to talk to you today.
It was fun times indeed. And you're now at one of the world's biggest retailers. Romy, give us a bit of an intro on what you're doing at Boots and your role at WBA.
No, definitely. So I lead the marketing technology agenda for global brands. So the business is, has a retail organization, Walgreens, Boots, also has a pharmacist organization with Alliance Healthcare. But there's also a part of it called Global Brands, which actually is like a house of brands, almost like a CPG organization that has brands like Number 7, Lizelle, and Soap and Glory. So I work as part of the marketing leadership team, where I partner with them to build the digital strategy, consumer and e-commerce experience strategy. So I help them understand and build that and craft, really develop and responsible for the appropriate technology roadmap to deliver against whatever KPIs and benefits that we need to realize from that strategy. The delivery of that consists of opportunities in different technologies to deliver things like mass personalization or large e-commerce implementations using things like Adobe, Marketing Cloud, or Salesforce, to more kind of nimble initiatives where CoCubed really applies around working with startup-like companies in their like incubator format to trial and scale new technologies that resolve business problems, but also bring new experiences to life for the consumer. So a massive space and so much going on with it right now, especially in the COVID environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Some big changes. And you're in a really unique place where you're obviously working within one of the world's largest retailers, but you're working closely with the brands who are seeing consumer shifts as well. What are the big shifts that you're seeing from a consumer behavior perspective when it comes to the world of boots?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about in the space. So I think I want to give everybody a flavour of the types of things that we're seeing. It's recognised as huge cultural shifts, and at WBA and beyond. Looking at the next 6 to 12 to 18 months, and it's worth talking about that in a bit of detail, actually, Jeremy. So I mean, in a recent study that we saw with Ernst & Young, 42% of consumers recognised how they shop will fundamentally change during and after COVID. Pandemic. In retail specifically, diversity is key, and brands actually have more of an opportunity to own more of the marketing funnel. And there's more digital opportunities and more channels during this economic downturn that really didn't exist in the previous two. So for me, I would say there was 7 key areas we could talk about in terms of consumer shifts. And new ways of thinking and opportunity for brands and retail. So one is kind of what I would call this is the Romy Aria view as well, by the way. It would consumer time value. So people use time differently now. The impact of experiences in store, such as have to book appointments, or there's also waiting time to even get into store. What do you do around those? Even with online interactions, there's waiting times as well. So there's opportunities to manage these points in time that maybe didn't exist previously. But also think about the experience around it. Things like having shoppable windows is something that we're looking at in the high street to home delivery. So combining multiple store deliveries. I think the people's perception of how they will use time will change based on the constraints that are in place, and also the new way of thinking how we want to shop. And it presents new opportunities and value that brands can put towards. The second point is shoppable everywhere. So with 1 in 4 UK and 1 in 5 US consumers planning to shop, and specifically in our industry, cosmetics, exclusively online post-COVID, it starts to show how important e-commerce really is. I mean, we kind of knew that, but it's the prioritization of brands and retail thinking more omni-channel. So, having a shoppable everywhere or anywhere as a marketplace mentality, thinking about social, peer-to-peer, third-party markets beyond Amazon. People want to buy wherever they can. People want to search wherever they can. So be ready for that. The third is consumer journey orchestration. So the consumer experience, the path to purchase becomes even more important to map out and integrate and improve with data and real-time adjustments. The lines between in-store, online, social discovery, and e-commerce are blurring. So we need to start thinking about how we bring it together, which is pretty critical. I'm worried about time, so I'll try and rattle through because I think it's really important.
It's a good Romy.
Yeah, and you can cut me off, mate, whenever. We're good friends.
No, I'm loving it.
The fourth one is tech-enabled. Everything's tech-enabled, but tech-enabled health and safety, wellness, and brand propositions. So that's paramount now. It impacts how we show up across channels, but particularly in merchandising, automation, touchless services, interaction in store over mobile, the use of virtual touch points, track and trace, AI kiosks, shopping assistance with AI, smart vending. Everything's kind of the brand interactions. You need to think about those additional opportunities and points. I think it comes back to what we're talking about is the power of empathy for brands and consumers, thinking about different people's life stages, breaking down taboos, providing mental health care support, accessibility to healthcare, on-demand telehealth services. It is industry specific, but what we're seeing is opportunity to bring more content and opportunity to collect more data in traditional physical spaces. And show how you're actually showing up in the COVID message. So using technology to enable that. And it kind of comes on to the fifth point, which is brand value really matters. So from some internal stats we've seen, 63% of customers say that the level of support they receive post-sale is an important consideration in their initial purchase decision. So it's really thinking about the value you provide across the whole of the sales process. And think about the services beyond kind of just the initial piece of marketing that you're doing. Although COVID is key, sustainability is still prominent. Convenient, sustainable services like take back services. I don't know if you've seen that. There's something that's we launched around taking back services, taking back products into store, and reusable packaging. I mean, seen with the works of like of companies like Loop, where you can actually, order products from them and they'll come collect it and give you refillables. So I think sustainability is still key and a drive for us. And there's interesting studies around 95% of US consumers believe in the goal around saying that sustainability, but they find it really hard to put into practice, and they're crying for help and guidance, things around traceability and fostering better behaviors through reward and reinforcement. So how are you showing up also to around the sustainability aspect?
Mm-hmm.
And the last point I think around cultural shifts is empowerment of the consumer and community. So through using data-driven methods, and think about how we can really offer better hyper-personalization in store and offline. So that's about supporting and encouraging the creation of digital content, really empowering influencers. Think about the store as a place to almost hang out for events and be more sensorial, versus just shopping for products and impulse. I mean that it's all about making the store and making the conversations that you have as a brand or as an entity with your consumers much more relevant, and organizing it based on their preferences and choices. And this is all kind of important now. So that's based on kind of the cultural shifts that we've discussed internally and some of my own personal opinion and viewpoints.
That's really interesting, Romy. So, I mean, much more holistic, especially when it comes to healthcare, which is an obvious one, but we're going to see solutions that are more holistic today as well. This end-to-end journey, which I think is a key thing as well. It's an interesting stat that 63% of customers, I think you said, really value the level of support after purchase, as a purchase driver. And then I guess it's accelerated a lot of the key things that were in play already around e-commerce, sustainability, personalization. There were trends, weren't they, already in January, but so much more so 7 months later.
No, definitely. I mean, I guess looking at things like the partners hype cycle.
Right.
I mean, I think one of where do I find kind of my trends and opportunities? I mean, you have a massive consumer market insights resources internally, but it's things like this as well. Like CoCubed, I think is like perfect way to kind of also understand what's going on in the industry. Personally, myself, I'll be looking at things like trendhunter.com is sounds a bit dodgy. Trendhunter.com is a really good site to just do personal reading on. I think through external events in our internal insights team. I mean, a joke is chatting to the youth. To be fair, my brother's he's a lot younger than me, and I talk to him and I get a little bit of information from him. So that actually helps me out too. But I think running our own internal incubators and starting to think about innovation, I think that it's all about, if you have an innovation mindset and you start to bring that into your kind of strategy and ways of thinking, you naturally start to it becomes part of the DNA about thinking, well, what next? And I think that the evolution that we're thinking about is versus working out what the trend is. How do you start setting the trend? And I think that's where brands and organizations will start to think about is can we deliver and create trends to therefore deliver to in terms of services and experiences. That's kind of the next step, I think, in the space.
Yeah, and with that in mind, what are the key examples, or can you share an example of work you've done at Boots, for instance, that has been
something that's cool that's launched recently. So on Boots.com, we've launched our skin diagnostic tool, which is basically it's like a selfie and also questionnaire type of tool, which helps recommend a set of product ranges for you, and that's been really successful. And it's part of the incubator trial processes that we see a lot of companies leveraging. We're partnering with a company and managed to develop this and get from kind of start to launch in a big organization like ourselves within 3 months. So
amazing.
It's great. And now we're starting to look at things like how can you start to do virtual makeup try-ons to find the right foundation. So I think the recognition around that is what do people use? And the key is to recognize the power of the lens, the power of AR. So we've also recently trialed some technology, and it's in trial at the moment, which is using kind of media as video as a media. How can you purchase within the video itself? So instead of kind of like a click to go to basket, you can actually transact within the video itself. So you're kind of not taking the consumer away. So you kind of are managing impulse purchase as well based on advertising. So there's some of the cool things that we've done recently, and there's a lot more. There's some larger in-flight projects in place too. So there's a huge marketing technology agenda here at the moment. It's fascinating.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Romy, thanks so much for joining. Thanks for sharing those insights. And thanks for giving us a bit of a glimpse into some of the things that are coming out or I've just launched in Boots recently. Appreciate that.
Yeah, cheers, Jeremy.
Brilliant. Well, now it's time to dive into the pitches. These are going to be intentionally fast and furious, just 2 minutes each. They're designed to give you a short introduction to each company. And then we're going to be heading into the networking area where you can ask questions, dig deeper, and engage more with the presenters. So let's start with our first pitch. Well, bringing the same level of personalized customer service that you get in a high-end store to customers shopping online is a company called IntelliStyle. And from IntelliStyle, we've got Costas. Costas, welcome to the club.
Hi, folks. Thanks, Jeremy, for the intro. So with shops closed for over 2 months, coronavirus has resulted in an entire season of unsold stock. Consumer shopping habits have changed forever, accelerating the shift to online by 5 years. So at IntelliStyle, our platform helps retailers navigate this new landscape by empowering their customer service staff to sell clothes remotely. Our AI learns by looking at outfits put together by some of the world's most prestigious stylists and extracts the essence of style. So when customers go to the retailer's website, they can request to receive styling advice. Our chatbot takes care of the most repetitive tasks of finding out about a customer, such as what's their body type, what's their skin tone, are they shopping for a particular occasion, and then hands them over to the customer service team who can help them find the right product. It will even give them tips on how to explain to a customer why a particular product has been selected for them. So customers can choose to answer their questions via text or even have a live styling session with a stylist to find out more about clothes that fit their body type or just to physically look at a product. Staff can use the platform to acquire new customers, handle customer service requests for existing orders, or re-engage existing customers with new products and offers. Our clients see on average a 42% basket size uplift, 20% higher full price sell-through, and a 10% revenue uplift for the entire brand. We work with some of the world's most exclusive retailers, such as Dolce & Gabbana, Max Mara, and Tommy Hilfiger. And the reason why they choose us is because of that approach that blends humans with AI, delivering 130% more revenue than using algorithms alone. So if you're passionate about building the customer experience of the future, we'd love to talk to you later at the networking. Thank you.
Costas, that's Bonza. Hey, I'm really interested. What's involved? Like, how does a retailer get started on this?
So it's very straightforward. We just need the retailer's Google feed, so their product feed that they normally give to Google for ads. Most retailers have that. We process that. The whole process from start to end takes about a couple of weeks, and that can be on the hands of sales staff.
Okay, cool. Lots to discuss in the networking space after this. Thanks for joining us, Costas. We're going to move on to the second
Thank you.
now. So still on the topic of fashion, for clothing retailers, helping customers find the perfect fit before they buy means not just a superior experience, but fewer returns. But getting that right, it's tough. Well, with an innovative solution to this problem, we've got Size Me Up. And from Size Me Up, please welcome Yanko.
Thanks, Jeremy. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. So I want to start by telling you a short story. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a store and I wanted to buy a pair of jeans. To my surprise, what I found out at the time was that the changing rooms were closed, which I completely understand in light of COVID and customer safety. But I was a bit frustrating because I could have just bought the jeans online. When it comes to online shopping, however, 88% of customers report frustration with sizing. Why is that the case? Well, because there isn't a standard across the industry. So if you buy a medium from one retailer, it doesn't necessarily match a medium from another retailer. This causes a lot of customer dissatisfaction, as well as quite significant cost for retailers because up to 50% of clothes are being returned, not to mention the environmental impact as well. So this is why we've started Size Me Up to solve this problem. We've developed an artificial intelligence technology which calculates body measurements in 3 simple steps. So we ask shoppers for a front image, a side image, and their height, and we calculate their precise body measurements, the same way a tailor would measure in a shop. Our technology is integrated with the retailer's website via a web widget. So when one of their shoppers uses the widget, we take those measurements, we match them against the sizing chart of the retailer, and we make a specific product recommendation to that shopper, which is specific to that product as well. As a user, you have to measure yourself once, and once you've created a profile, you can use your measurements across every partner retailer that we work with. Hence, we create an ecosystem of retailers and users. As we grow our network of retailers and users, we're looking to eliminate the sizing problem altogether. And by gathering additional data, we're looking to help retailers optimize their supply chain as well as help users make more informed decisions. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any further questions, I would love to have a further conversation at our booth. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Janko. Very interesting there. I'm fascinated though. Obviously, you're capturing a lot of data here on people and size. Can this technology help develop a deeper relationship with customers?
Yes, absolutely. So a big part of our proposition is around the data that we capture, and we use that data to help retailers understand their consumer behavior as well. So when you use the widget, we capture information such as what type of kind of products you looked at, what are the sizes you purchased, what's the sizes we've recommended versus what you purchased, what did you send back. So using that data, we help retailers really understand who their customers are. Another aspect with custom-made clothing, actually, one of the features we've developed for our custom-made clothing retailers is they wanted to see the photos of their customers as well. So we've developed this additional feature, and if of course, the customer gives their consent, we share that information with the retailer, which helps them create kind of the right products for their customers.
Okay, nice. Very good. We'll carry on those conversations in networking, but now it's time for our third company, and we're going to continue on this stream of data. Gathering data on consumers and what they like, what they dislike, it's essential to your growth. But how can brands and retailers do it more effectively without sacrificing people's privacy? Well, here with an answer is Boon Spotlight. And from Boon, please welcome Dylan. Yeah, good to go, Dylan.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me, Jeremy. I'm Dylan, the CEO of Boon. I'm really excited to tell you about our technology, Spotlight. Boon Spotlight is the psychology-based digital shopping assistant that uses powerful filtering and state-of-the-art AI to help shoppers discover their next purchase. For online retail clients, it's like bringing the in-store personal shopping assistant to your online offering, and can be used both as a tool to help a shopper find something for themselves and as a super smart gift finder. The whole experience is white label and seamlessly integrated. It's seamlessly integrated. It's made to be fun for the shopper, and it results in increased conversions and basket size. So how does it work? Shoppers are taken through a set of questions personalized to them, each of which could be filter-based, like determining their budget or their clothing size, or they could be questions designed by a psychologist to establish the shopper's likes or desires and personality and situation. These questions are often image-based, creating a really engaging and intriguing quiz for the shopper. We see incredible engagement overall. 96% of users convert through the entire set of questions to get their product recommendations. And each shopper's responses are analyzed by our powerful filtering engine and AI to select the top product recommendations, a shortlist of the most valuable products or the most relevant products for that user's specific situation. They're not overwhelmed, and they may discover new product categories. The user can replace each recommendation as well as rate them, helping our AI improve for future shoppers. And as an added bonus, we can aggregate all the user's question responses and recommendation feedback to give our clients unparalleled insights into their customer base. The technology increases conversions by up to 85% and AOV by up to 35%. So get in touch now if you're interested in trying technology on your e-commerce store. Thanks for listening.
Dylan, that's mega. I can see this being really relevant for Christmas, and obviously for retailers. Christmas is pretty much here already. What would be involved if retailers wanted to get something like this up and live for the Christmas rush?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a perfect addition for Christmas. So it's obviously looming. It's getting very close. So we've been working to make sure the integration is as simple as possible. So it's just adding a line of code to the website and providing us with a product data feed. And we just store the setup process on our end, so the question design, the setup, and the evaluation. So if we get going soon, this can be running for Christmas, for the Christmas rush. And if it's too late now for Christmas, we can also consider Valentine's, which is perfect for as well.
Nice. Good stuff. Well, we'll look forward to continuing the conversations in networking. But now it's time for our next pitch. So that's 3 down, 3 to go. When it comes to improving your customer service, it's no secret that it can be quite costly. But here with a solution, please welcome Friso from Enterprise Bot.
Hi, Jeremy. Thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Friso, and I work at Enterprise Bot. Today, I want to tell you a story. It's not a fairy tale, but it's one that actually happened. A couple of weeks ago, I visited an online retailer regarding a product I was interested in. But before my purchase, I had a question regarding shipping and checked out what kind of options there were to ask my question. One of them, the fastest one, was live chat. But it happened, they turned it off. They disabled it due to an overwhelming amount of messages during the whole COVID period. So the only other way was basically to send an email, but they have responded to me. This would take up to 6 days to respond. Of course, you can imagine this is a bad customer experience, and I was very disappointed and decided not to order at that moment. The last months, we saw this huge increase in online shopping, and you can imagine that contact centers are getting more and more important, while also expensive as the support teams are growing as well. This is exactly the reason why having an AI-powered digital assistant for service is important for, 1, the swifter reply to your customer, prevent unexpected cost of hiring new call center agents. 3 is take away pressure from the existing team. And 4, easy to scale solution. Large enterprises are using our bots like Generali Banking and Insurance, LNER in London, Dutch Railway, and many more. Enterprise Bot is truly an omni-channel solution that offers chat, email, phone, and smart devices with a strong AI and advanced NLP engine. Let me round off my pitch by giving you an example of Afterpay. That's one of our Dutch retailers we work with. They were struggling with a high cost of customer service. They had a lot of repetitive questions. The customer service was not available during non-working hours, and the slow response time was affected their NPS score. Afterpay nowadays is using our AI-powered chatbot, which is able to follow up on questions like damaged goods, payment installments, not received my orders. And all these queries, it's important, are handled by the bot itself. We do not redirect to other pages. The results? 25% of all contact center activities are handled by Sophie the bot. Are you curious what we can do for your company? Please meet me and my colleague in the network area.
Thanks, Friso. I'm interested in, how scalable is this in terms of languages and support and all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, well, that's of course one of the many questions we get. We support multiple languages, and it's important that if the retailer does business in other countries, that we always work with local linguists to ensure we have basically the highest accuracy in the market. So understanding slang, for example, and this is of course where we shine, I can say, to guarantee that our customers will start, if they start working with us, with an accuracy of at least 85%. And most of them are running around 90%, and that's highest in the market.
Amazing.
Proud of that.
Good. Marvelous. Well, I wonder if it can deal with my Australiana. I'll test it out.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeremy.
For joining. All right, 2 more pitches to go. So predicting what is going to happen in the retail industry has never been easy, but it's even more difficult than ever with what's been going on over the last few months. Combining the art and science of prediction to help make savvier decisions. From Pekin, please welcome Kristen. There we go. You're good to go, Kirsten. Sorry about that.
No, sorry, my bad. Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm Kirsten Dieter with Pecan AI. If I told you that you could predict your future, how would you respond? That's what Pecan does. Pecan enables retailers on both the manufacturing side and that have customer-facing stores in e-commerce stores are able to predict their future through increasing their customer engagement, understanding the likelihood of when a customer will convert, when they'll respond to specific promotions, when they're ripe for upsell. And likewise, if you're on the manufacturing side producing your own products, we can help you determine your production scheduling and how to more effectively produce products based on forecasted customer demand. Also, you can do this with your existing staff. Although our platform is very robust and advanced, it provides a very simplistic user interface that's designed for business analysts. So you don't need to know any sort of Python or R. You just have to have a basic understanding of the data at hand and what you're trying to use or what you're trying to predict upon. And additionally, all of our output and all of our predictions come in within a 90% accuracy rating. So the level of output is very trustworthy and the level of insights are very easy to take action on. You can use this today. There's no reason that you should be relying on historical data to try and guess what's happening when you can take your historical data, put it into Pecan, and predict your future. Thank you.
Nice one. I'm interested in terms of like, what are the challenges to implement something like this? Oh.
We have a very streamlined implementation process. It's as simple, because we're entirely cloud-based, it's as simple as plugging in your data source, and you don't have to worry either if you don't have a data warehouse or you're not keeping your data in some sort of digital database. We can also ingest static files, so you can flatten your files into CSVs and we can upload them into the solution and you can start building predictions today.
Okay. Fascinating. Well, it's now time for our final pitch. Using big data to make better pricing decisions isn't always a walk in the park. And here to make it easier, though, is Lindsay from Sparkbox. Lindsay.
Hi, Jeremy. Thank you. I'm last, so I'll keep it quick. I'm Lindsay. I'm a co-founder at Sparkbox, and we help retailers sell more inventory more profitably by optimizing their pricing and merchandising decisions. So you've probably seen some really big sales on the high street this year for obvious reasons. Retailers use promotions to clear through stock and free up cash. And pricing is a really, really important part of the merchandising function. So price is the primary driver of profitability in retail. But surprisingly, most pricing decisions are currently based on intuition rather than data. And that's because the humans behind those decisions don't have the tools they need to manage thousands of products and millions of data points at a time. So Sparkbox is a platform that takes the guesswork out of pricing. And in short, we help retailers make more money on the inventory that they already own. In the background, we use machine learning, we use trading data, and an external data source that includes weather to understand how customers respond to changes in price. And when it's time for a markdown or promotion, we look at all of the possible options and we recommend the best course of action given your business goals. So we deliver those recommendations through a really simple, user-friendly application, and that helps merchandising teams plan and execute their price changes. My team and I came from retail, and previously we built custom pricing solutions for brands like Arcadia and the Very Group. We've seen some really good results with Sparkbox. This year we've been recognized by Forbes, TechNation, and Retail Week. So we're currently working with a fast fashion retailer. They have about 400 stores across Europe and 5 different websites. We've improved their sale margin over the last year by about 20% without impacting volume at all. So if you're interested in pricing, it's my favorite topic. Please stop by the booth or you can contact me directly. It's lindsay@sparkbox.ai.
Amazing. Lindsay, this feels like it could be quite a game changer. You know, in an industry which is notoriously struggling from a margin perspective, anything you can do there on price has a big impact. What's involved in implementing something like this?
Yeah, so the implementation is really simple. We don't need sort of any kind of big IT integration. We just need a data source and we can be up and running within kind of a couple weeks. So it's the type of thing where I think sometimes it seems like it might take a bit of time to get going in a business, but we could actually be up and running well in time for Christmas at this point. and ahead of those big markdowns that we know are coming in December and January.
Okay, great. Well, let's talk pricing in the Expo booth and networking lounge right after this. Thanks for joining, Lindsay. And there you go, everyone. That's 6 of the best. You can meet more companies at Retail Week. But as you've seen, each of these 6 companies are changing the game when it comes to retail. They're creating new innovations that we think could be particularly useful to you at this time. We've also been thinking about how can we change the game for people that are interested in innovation and technology. And one of the things that we've recently launched is a thing called Go Partner. And the way this works is we take a challenge that you might have, and then within 24 hours, we come back with 10 game-changing startups that can solve that challenge in your inbox, ready for you to meet. If you'd like to meet them, we can organize for them to pitch. If you are interested in them following their quick pitch, we can organize to run a partnership program. But what we're trying to do here is make it really quick, really easy for you to get exposure to startups who are practical and useful and are solving your problems. So if you're interested, do check it out, gopartner.com. Got a special opportunity there for SixSixty Club members to use that service for $4.95. It's a bargain versus anything we've done before and anything else that's on the market. So please do check it out, and I hope that is useful to you as well. All right, you've heard the pitches. Now it's time to head to the networking and expo section, where you can check out more about each of the companies, meet members, and continue the conversation. If you go to the expo booth, you'll be able to find out more about each of the companies that have presented. There's a blue button there as well where you can click to connect, and it will share your details with them immediately. We'll also be sending an email out right after this to you with the details of each company, and you can follow on through email as well. And then, of course, if you go to the networking section, it's a lot of fun. It's sort of like chat roulette, where we put you on 2-minute rotations. You meet someone, find out what they're doing, and then move to the next person. So do check that out as well. There's some great people in the club, and I'm sure you'd love to connect with them. So do make the most of that. And then finally, if we can do anything to make SixSixty Club more relevant and more useful to you, then please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. My email is jeremy.bassett@cocubed.com. But right now, it's time to say thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the networking zone. Bye.